Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part number 3 of our Let's Play The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past Randomizer. All dungeons, full key sanity seed. And if you remember, in part 2, we received the flippers and a bunch of stuff. We have our Dark World access finally as well. We also now have Desert and Eastern completable. But we also can do some stuff in Ice Palace as well. Not that that sounds exciting to me at the moment, but it is something that we can do. And now with the flippers, we can get to Pod and to that side of things as well. So I think the best way to go around about this now is to do all the flipper checks first that I have not done. And then from there, after we do all the flipper checks, we will see what we get. Is that the second castle tower small key? It is. Okay, so we now can complete Aghanim anytime we want. So we'll wait on that, but now we can pretty much do Aghanim anytime we want. So that's really good news. We don't have to go looking for the Castle Tower small key, which, as I mentioned before, could literally and figuratively have been anywhere. Yeah, so that's the only issue with full key sanity all dungeons is that you get things like that. And I also want to see what the fairy gives us. Oh, green bottle. Okay, cool. And a cape. Sweet. Alright, so I don't know if I'll remember all that. We already did Zora. Okay, so where do I want to go now? We already checked the Mire area. So let's go back to the village. And let's check Graveyard Ledge. Bumper Cave, which we can get if we need to. We can do Skull Woods now as well, if we decide to do that. I'm not sure if that's going to be on my immediate to-do list, but it is on the list. I will eventually go back there and do that. But more importantly than that, is that we still don't have a lot of the big keys left. Alright, what's here? It is a map. Okay, so Swamp Palace is a pendant. And so I think we can leave that map there. I don't really think we need it. I mean, we now know where one of the pendants are pretty much. I mean, we're only missing one. And I'm not really too concerned at the moment. So I'm not too concerned. We cannot check Graveyard Ledge, unfortunately. I mean, King's Tomb. But we can check Graveyard Ledge. Which is just bombs. I think we're pretty much set on money. We'd still have to pay Kiki. But I think that's pretty much it at this point. Need the... Still need the boots eventually. Would be a good thing to get. You know what? Before we go down, we gotta check catfish. Because there's never going to be a better time to do that than right now. So let's do catfish first. And then we'll do the rest of the stuff in this that we wanted to do. Because unfortunately catfish becomes a check that you forget, however you want to put it. So it's just something that, like, I just don't want to forget about. Definitely don't need that 20 at the moment. Alright, so in a perfect world, we would obviously like to find certain things. We still need the hammer, the hook shot. Yeah, so there's no point going into Swamp Palace yet because we still don't even have the hammer. And realistically, we don't even know where it is at this point either. So, like, that's our biggest, like, where is that? So much of the game is locked behind the hammer. More than the actual gloves themselves. I still don't think we have any pod small keys either, so I'm just gonna open up pod. I'm gonna check the first chest, and then probably, well, we could do the Bozelet lock side, I guess, but that's kind of it. So there's not much we could do in pod, and we can finish off Eastern while we're here. So I guess that's a good thing. Just give me a second, I gotta plug my phone in. Alright. Off we go. There are 14 items in this dungeon. So just keep that in mind. Ooh, we have the big key to Thieves Town now. So that puts Thieves Town finally completable, too. So we're slowly getting dungeons we can complete now. Do we have the small key, though? We do. So the hammer could be in there. Mimics. This is gonna be the last check we can make here. Unless it's a hammer. Like I said, that would have been the last check we can make unless it's a hammer. So now there's a couple more checks we can make. We still don't have any keys though. So unfortunately, there's a key there. So I guess we could check the big key. No, we can't check the big key. I take that back. That's locked also by a key. It's also locked by a key. So this is the last check unless we get a key in this dungeon. And it's half magic. So we are done for now in Pod. But Pod comes up big with that hammer. We're going to finish off Eastern Palace, though, for sure. Because that's easy. And an easy clear. You know, we have the big key. We have the bow. We're going to have to do it eventually anyway. I mean, it obviously, in a perfect world, you know, you'd like to do Pod and Eastern together. But, you know, without more Pod small keys, we kind of are stuck. And we've done a lot of Eastern already, so it comes down to we've already done a lot of this. So it's just getting the big key chest. And then beating the boss. 2 more items here. So now we have full access to the Dark World. And I want full health, or at least a fairy. Now it makes perfect sense to go to Thieves Town and Village of Outcasts. Because now we pretty much can clear out Skull Woods. I don't think we have the big key to that yet, do we? No, we do not. But we don't need the big key to beat the dungeon. Alright, time to face the Ring Around the Armos Knights. Alright, 2 down. Alright, time to go back into Skull Woods and get our third dungeon done. We still don't have the big key, so we can't check the big key chest, unfortunately, but we can at least go in and clear the dungeon, and maybe we'll get lucky and find the big key. And we'll check the pedestal also once we're done. Alright, so let's get the mirror out. So we're going to mirror straight from here back to the start so we can go kill Mothula. So this will basically clear Skull Woods with one thing missing, and that is one thing missing is the big key for the big key chest, but other than that, we're pretty much done. We gotta get rid of these guys here because they're just a pain in my side. In a seed where there's no sword, the places that you need a sword are taken out for you, meaning all those things. Alright, down goes Mothula. And Skullwoods is a crystal, not a pendant. Alright, on the Thief Sound. Well, first things first. Just a piece of heart on the pedestal. So no key, no small key, no big key, no boots or anything like that. Alright, now we'll go through Thieves Town in the village of Outcast. So let's, item-wise, we still need the ice rod, the hook shot. Hold on, let me just get past this hole here. Bombos, whatever the, so for items, I'm just going to pause for a second. So item-wise, we need the hook shot, ice rod, the Misery Mire medallion, the Turtle Rock medallion, whatever they are. We need Cane of Samaria as far as item go mode. So pretty far away as far as item go mode. But that could change in a hurry. You know, with Thieves Town, with so many items and stuff in here. We've already checked the front. So, I mean, blind is not necessarily the hardest fight in the world. I mean, obviously you would rather have more stuff, but it is what it is. So realistically now it's a matter of finding all the small keys, the big keys. So we still need the Ice Palace and the Misery Mire big key, as well as lots of stuff in Pod. So we need to find stuff for Pod and fast, realistically, so we can clear Pod. Now we do have the hammer, which makes this dungeon much nicer in general. I better get off the mirror because I will accidentally press the button and end up back at the beginning. I've done that before. So, I've done that before. Alright, so what are we looking for here is, you know, again, we could beat Desert still, and I think that's probably the next place we go. After this, we're going to Desert. I mean, we could go to Swamp. But there is a second Swamp small key that could be really devastating if we don't have it. Because left side Swamp requires a small key. Left side Swamp requires a small key. And it's really nice that I can make fairies whenever I want. I'm not gonna be upset about that. I mean, and then also in a perfect society, we would love to have Cane of Berna for the fight against Blind. It's not necessary, but it's nice to have. But with Cape, it's not the hardest fight in the world. So I think it'll be okay. And since we can keep getting fairies, why not? And like I said, we could full clear this dungeon and we never come back here again. Now, so that's always a good thing. I don't believe there'll be a problem. So nothing really out of Thieves Town either. Unless Blind has something amazing. If Blind has something amazing, that would be amazing. Oops. Might as well use the cape as long as I have it. And down goes Blind, and down goes Thieves Town. And there's a pendant here. We know where Berna is. And you know what? We really shouldn't even bother going into Swamp Palace because we don't have the hook shot. So we are kind of looking for the hook shot right now, so we can beat Swamp. And obviously we need to beat Mr. Meyer too. And we could do stuff in ice. So let's go get the big key chest here. And then we'll call this video a day. And that's a small key to Turtle Rock. So, still nothing for Pod, which is really weird. To not have had one thing for Pod yet. Because there's 6 small keys for Pod. And I don't mind going up the Bowlock side and keeping that middle door locked. If I have to. We just haven't gotten anything. So, we'll have to see what this is and what the green pendant is, because realistically, if it's not going to be here for whatever the reason, if we can't do any more dungeons after this, full complete meaning, so this will lead us to the green pendant. We've done everything we can in Pod. We need more keys, for sure. As far as Swamp, we can go in it and check it out, even though we don't have the keys we need. So we can go into Swamp and see. We can go into Ice Palace. And I forgot about the key there for a second. Alright, so let's see, what could we... That was horrible. That was horrible. At least I got 2 of them now. green pendant now. Alright, let's check the green pendant and then call it a day. So I think realistically, we we definitely need, well, there's some single item locations that we've left behind. We can go check Dark Cross. Maybe I'll do that too before I end it, because that's pretty easy. And then I have both Castle Tower small keys. So do I do Aga? Is this a small key to pod? It is. It's a small key to pod. All right. Well, that gives us the access to the back at least. Well, that's good. That's pretty good. Let's check Dark Cross. Because, well, we haven't been able, we never did that. I really don't want to do Aga's tower until we absolutely have nothing left to do. And if I'm going to do Aghanim, I'm just going to run him and just beat him. Like, full-fledged beat him. I'm not going to go there for one item, which is all that's left. I think I got the first item, if memory serves correct. But yeah, I think I got one item out of Aga Tower. So we're getting close, though, to the end of this seed, which is nice. So we know that we still need the hook shot. I'm not worried about the ice rod. The ice rod was only for one boss, which is Trinex. So I'm not really worried about the ice rod right now. We know it's not on the pedestal for sure. So is this another pod small key? Oh, there's a Misery Mire small key. We can't get in the mire. We don't have the Bombos medallion. So let's see. In the next part, what are we gonna do? I think we gotta either do Turtle Rock, Ice Palace, or part of Swamp, or take that small key that we have and go to Pod. That's kind of what we have left. We've beaten the dungeons we can full clear. We can't go to Misery Mire. We can't go to Turtle Rock. Oh, yes, we can. I take that back. We could do Death Mountain. That's what we're doing. That's a lot smarter. Okay, so in the next part, we're going to check out Dark Death Mountain and Light Death Mountain. I'm Nitro6003, and I'll see you guys all next time.